Peace. Let me put some boxing on your mind. Sweet Science Athletics back with another video. So by now, I'm pretty sure everybody is aware that Canelo got manhandled last night. He got utterly manhandled last night. All them little bully tactics that Canelo likes to use on opponents, that stuff got used on him. Canelo, I've been saying this, man. I've been saying this. You can check out one of my earlier videos where I broke down Dmitry Bivol and Arthur Beterbiev. I broke down both of them guys because everybody was talking about these two guys in reference to Canelo. So I wanted to see for myself, you know, what skill set these two individuals had. And the first fight that I seen of Dmitry Bivol, I think he was fighting, I think it was Castillo. And I think it was Castillo. I'm not sure. But I'm watching that fight and I wasn't impressed. And then I watched a couple other fights, him and Pastor and him and a couple other individuals. So I'm watching these fights and then Dmitry started to grow on me. I'm seeing different, you know, levels of skill that I didn't see in the first fight. So I don't know if the guy he fought the first fight that I saw, I don't know if that guy was good and he just made stuff difficult for Dmitry. I don't know, but the more fights I saw of him, the more levels of skills I seen in him, and I said to myself, Canelo would never fight this dude because he won't win. Because that seems to be the pattern with Canelo. He fights people that he thinks he can win. He won't really challenge himself. So Canelo in Dmitry Bivol's last fight, he didn't look all that great, man. So I think Canelo saw that and he thought that he could beat this guy. And so that's why he went with the lesser of two evils. Because in option one, he had Earl Spence, he had David Benavidez, and he had Jamal Charlo. Those was his options for option number one. And option number two, he had an old Triple G, possibly a Macaboo, and Dmitry Bivol. You turned down $100+ million to fight that murderer's row of Charlo, Benavidez, and Earl Spence. I don't know why Earl wanted that fight, because Earl would never beat Canelo. He wouldn't beat him. So I don't even know why that was even. They should have threw Demetrius Andre in the mix. I don't know why. That don't even make sense to me, man. That don't even make sense. Why would you want to go up there and fight Canelo when you just decided that you want to fight Terrence Crawford? Terrence Crawford been trying to get that wreck with you for I don't know how long. And you want to move all the way up to 164 to fight Canelo? This didn't make any sense to me, because you got some wreck right there at 147. You got Boost down there. You got some wreck at 147. So it didn't make sense to me to be trying to go all the way up at a catch weight of 164 to fight Canelo. That just didn't make any sense to me. But needless to say, I knew Canelo was not finna beat Bivol, man. And I'm watching all these professional boxers, you know, they was dick riding basically, man. They was just they dick ride. These people are so mesmerized by Canelo that they're not even paying attention that Canelo be cherry picking he be cherry picking, man. You know, you worrying about light heavyweight, but you got David Benavidez, a guy that you've been ducking for I don't know how long. This guy can give you all the work in the world. And honestly, if Canelo had fought David Benavidez would have stopped Canelo. He would have stopped him. Demetrius Andre would have stopped Canelo. You know, they would have stopped him. You know, he got outboxed and beat up by Bivol, but I'm telling you, y'all, he was gonna lose if he had fought He was gonna lose horribly if he had fought David Benavidez or Demetrius Andre. He would have had a good chance. It would have been a good, fair fight for him and Charlo. That would have been a good, fair fight. It would have been an evenly matched fight. The winner, it would have been a toss-up. I couldn't say definitively who was going to win that fight. However, had Canelo got in that ring with Andre or David Benavidez, they would have stopped him. And those are the reasons why he's never going to fight those three individuals. Canelo could talk all that mess about he wants to challenge himself and he wants to fight champions, but the reality is you had a chance to be undisputed at 154 if you had fought Demetrius Andre. They offered you $40 million to fight Demetrius Andre to be undisputed. You had 3 belts and he had the only one left, and you didn't want them troubles. You didn't want them. Same thing happened at 160 when he had opportunities to be undisputed. He had opportunities to take belts. Jermell Charlo held both of them. Well, Jermell Charlo, I get the names mixed up. Jermell Charlo was his mandatory, and he vacated the belt to avoid that fight. So him talking about he only wants to fight champions and he only wants to fight the best people, that's just cap. Because you had opportunities to fight these people and you just avoided them. You know, he didn't want to fight David Benavidez. And I'm going to say this right now. Canelo is not going to fight at 168 again. He's not going to fight at 168. For him to fight at 168, he's going to have to fight David Benavidez. And he don't want to do that. He don't want to fight David Benavidez. He's going to vacate them belts. Because if I'm not mistaken, David Benavidez is his mandatory for 2 of those titles. So that's just, he's not going to fight that guy, man. He's not going to fight at 168 again because he's not going to be able to, because I believe that Demetrius Andre is at 168 now. And Charlo is at 168. So he got all these people at 168 that want to fight him, and he ain't trying to fight them. Which is why I know he's not going to stay at 168. He's not going to stay there because that means he's going to have to. Damn. But anyway, I'm going to get up out of here, y'all. Sweet Science Athletics. Hit that like, share, subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.